Sunday is, as they say, Hollywood's biggest night. And since it's still trying to shed Oscar so white, or Oscar so male, or Oscar so straight, we can expect some gratuitous self-congratulations on some of this year's nominees.
When we came out together, we know some of you were thinking, are the Oscars too black now?
But 2018 did feel like a big year of wins for diversity, didn't it? Crazy Rich Asians was the most successful romantic comedy in a decade. Black Panther is currently the 9th highest grossing film of all time. Love, Simon told a sweet teenage coming out story. The Hate U Give portrayed police brutality and the effects of code switching. Hell, they even let 4 ladies over 70 star in a movie.
If women our age were meant to have sex, God wouldn't do what he does to our bodies.
Speak for yourself.
Well, that was not God. That was Dr. Nazarian.
I love all 4 of those women so much. One group in particular made huge strides in 2018. The USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative studied the top 1,200 grossing films between 2007 and 2018. And they found for the first time in over a decade, Hollywood hired a greater number of black directors to helm higher grossing films. 16 of the 100 top grossing movies had a black director. This is great news. Obviously, kudos to all of those men making waves, super impressed. But it's also great news because it demonstrates that Hollywood can change. And according to that same study, there's a ways to go. Because that was about the extent of the improvements. Only 4 of the top grossing films were directed by women. Ava DuVernay was the only black woman, and the other 3 were white. In 11 years, the percentage of women directing top movies hasn't changed. It's just stayed there at 4%. And don't say it's because there aren't any women directors.
Let's put a stop to that rumor right now.
28% of independent films since 2007 have been directed by women. So basically, studios just aren't giving women the chance to make bigger movies. And it's not just the director's chair that's still grossly gender imbalanced. Only 18% of producer credits went to women, 1.6% being women of color. Over 98% of gaffers, editors, camera operators, and composers were men. And at the major studios, only 17% of the top executives were women. It's not much better on screen either. Out of 1,100 films in 2017, only 31% of characters with dialogue were women. White actors were cast for 70% of all speaking roles. And of the top 100 films in 2017, 43 had no black female characters, 65 had no Asian American women, 64 had no Latina roles, only 2.5% had any sort of disability, and less than 1% of characters on screen were lesbian, gay, or bisexual.
Too swishy?
So, what's to be done? There are a couple of ways that state governments are trying to move the needle since studios seem slow to do so. You may or may not be aware that many states provide tax credits, rebates, and grant incentives for TV and film productions. And a couple of those states have started passing legislation that puts conditions on those credits to encourage diverse hiring and better sexual harassment reporting. Conditions like reporting diversity statistics, the studio having a diversity program, and submitting their policy prohibiting harassment and retaliation. Think of it as an inclusion rider of state policy. We all learned what an inclusion rider was last year, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, inclusion rider.
So one thing you can do is find out if your state provides these tax credits and if they're tied to conditions like these. And if they don't, make a strongly worded recommendation to your state legislature. You can also vote with your dollar. See movies with women directors, or black directors, or any movies that have the diversity you support in the theaters on the opening weekend. It's the most important one. Now, you're probably not a movie executive in charge of these types of decisions, but if you are, you as a consumer can wield true bottom-up power to compel studios, networks, and streaming services to make these types of changes.
Change is good.
Yeah, but it's not easy.
I'm Kristin Brey, and thanks for watching Below the Fold. If you like this video, please comment and share. You can also sign up for weekly videos sent to your inbox with an informative newsletter at www.belowthefold.co.